Good afternoon, Chico Army. My name is Tyler of Chico Crypto, and welcome to another episode of Crypto and a Cold One. Today's guest I'm featuring one more time is Lazy Hazy, like myself, Fall River Brewing Company. It's a northeastern style IPA. I liked it last time. It's pretty strong, 8.5%, so it gets you pretty drunk in a tall 16 can. If I start slurring my words by the end of this, don't get mad at me. So, today I'm diving back into an undervalued crypto project on a platform that is seeing growing pains and needs a scaling solution as soon as possible. The project I'm talking about is the Raiden network. Finish him. Now, for those of you who are new to Raiden, they are building an off-chain scaling solution for near-instant low-fee and scalable payments. Here is a quick short video explaining the fundamentals of Raiden.
Payments are one of the obvious killer applications of blockchains. But unfortunately, blockchain's current transaction capacity is very limited and therefore unable to support significant adoption. Full blocks, high fees, and long confirmation times are the known effects of this limitation. The problem is scalability. Currently, the Ethereum network is only able to confirm roughly 10 transactions per second. Before blockchains will see widespread adoption for everyday payments, they will need to be able to process roughly 100,000 transactions per second. Adoption also requires that the cost of transfers is neglectable and the confirmation time is within a sub-second rather than in a range of minutes. The Raiden network aims to solve these problems. It uses a mix of mesh payment channels, deposits, and cryptographic tricks to allow for secure token transfers off-chain. Instead of using the blockchain as a global notary for all transfers, the blockchain is only used as a system to eventually settle netted claims which resulted from off-chain transfer activity. This approach allows the Raiden network to scale with the number of users and their transfers. The more users participate, the more transfers can happen concurrently. Further, transfers are extremely cheap, fast, and private. The Raiden network will complement Ethereum such that it can become a global scale payment infrastructure for everyday purchases by all of us, as well as for the upcoming machine-to-machine economy. The original idea of blockchains is to provide a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash. Our mission is to provide the technology which allows this vision to scale towards widespread adoption. If you want to learn more about the Raiden network, watch our next video or check out our website.
Now, I want to dive into Raiden news and updates because I believe once Ethereum meets scaling problems, which they will, the project will go absolutely bananas. Now, Raiden has a collaboration with some projects that I have evangelized on my channel before. Here's an image of the Neo Joy event in which a loop ring presented. Ethereum is going to be the first blockchain in which there will be a decentralized wallet and ring miner. As you can see, the next update is the release of the Relay API standard, and after that, the support of the Raiden network. Loop Ring's technology will not work 100% efficiently in the current state of Ethereum. That is why they need a scaling solution, and Loop Ring has the foresight to understand that Plasma will not be implemented anytime soon. Now, if you are not too up to date on Loop Ring, I would start doing some research. My boy Blockchain Brad just interviewed the CEO, Daniel Wang. I would recommend checking it out if you want to learn more. So, another crypto who is partnering with the Raiden network is Walla. I've talked about Walla for a short time in another Raiden video. Walla is a fintech company that has set out to solve the global unbanked problem by engaging users with a digital financial platform that provides all of the financial and transactional services a consumer needs. So, this is what the Walla team has to say about the Raiden network. The Raiden network provides the best short to medium term solution to enable fast, near-free microtransactions supported by the blockchain. In light of this, Walla will aim to provide the number of nodes that will provide Walla payment channels on the Raiden network. These nodes will have high liquidity and act as a hub to connect to other Walla payment channels. The Walla Corporation will provide the liquidity and subsidize the cost of doing business to the hub nodes. So moving on, Power Ledger is evaluating Raiden according to its Telegram. and I believe they will adopt the protocol. The reason is because of the German energy partnership, Share and Change. So the Raiden team has been in close collaboration with one of the largest energy companies in Germany called Share and Charge. The Raiden team has constructed the proof of concept for them and received massively good feedback. Share and Charge currently has a functioning product on the public Ethereum chain, developed by Slockit. They use the chain to enable their decentralized platform for electrical vehicle charging stations. So, another crypto I've talked about, Indahash. They have said they plan to solve the scalability problems with Raiden. Golem has considered the integration and implementation depending on code and complexity. Gnosis has recently purchased a ton of Raiden. What does that mean? So also, Augur is evaluating Raiden. They have recently said the main piece remaining in the puzzle to enable more transactions per second, which means using sharding or using Raiden. The list of Raiden users goes on and on. Tobola Energy, Network Foundation, Smart Mesh Engine, Grid Plus, OpenANX, Soma, Trade.io, Trust Lines, Moxie One, Rider, Request Network, Kin, Uledger, WePower, and it keeps going on and on. You see, people, this is what everyone is waiting for. The only way these projects can take the next step is to have a scaling solution. A lot of these projects are valued higher than Raiden right now, and they explain that they will rely on Raiden. So look it, the price is undervalued. Let's take a look at this price and see why it is so undervalued. Currently, the price of one Raiden is $4.73, an 8.73% increase from yesterday. Here's a prime example. Augur, which is relying on a scaling solution like Raiden, is valued at almost $600 million. Now let's take a look at Raiden's market cap, $237 million. Augur is almost 3 times the price of Raiden. Now that is absolutely fucking insane. So here is some good news. Poloniex had their company account buy Raiden, which means it has a high chance of being listed. The team is currently working through the security requirements for other exchanges like Bittrex, Kraken, and Coinegg. Now, a lot of people are worried about Plasma and what effect that will have on the Raiden network in the future. One thing, Plasma is very, very far off, and the implementation of it will probably cause a fork. Also, Plasma focuses on smart contracts, and Raiden focuses on payment channels. They will work hand in hand. So check out this video of Vitalik Buterin explaining why Raiden will be good for Ethereum.
I'm Vitalik Buterin. I'm the president and the chief scientist of the Ethereum Foundation. This is the thing that everyone's waiting for. And everyone's waiting for, sort of the killer app, but I don't think blockchains have a killer app. It's the sort of technology have the potential to kind of create fairly substantial, but kind of more moderate improvements that will spread out over a very large number of industries. As we're seeing right now, finance is where it's starting, and there's like 10 different areas in finance that seem to be getting about equal attention. There's at least 40 banks that are very interested in blockchains, at least interested enough to put a huge bunch of money into R3. You can kind of see some of the benefits already. Transfer money anywhere around the world as easily as sending an email. Participate in any kind of financial contract. Also as easily as sending an email. I mean, machine-to-machine micropayments. Very exciting idea that you can kind of just very efficiently kind of pay on demand for a whole bunch of things. Consume a service for 1 minute, pay 2 cents. Consume it for 2 minutes, pay 4 cents, and so forth. One of the consequences I'm excited about is just the sort of greater accessibility that this technology offers. Both accessibility for users and what often gets forgotten is accessibility for developers. Basically, 12-year-olds can build their own platforms in all of these industries, where before they'd have to have banking relationships, a whole bunch of other things. It seems like maybe next year we'll probably see starting very large movements in other industries like IoT, notarization, government documents, everything else as well. So first time I came to China was back in May 2014. I was extremely impressed at the time. I remember going into some of the companies that had literally over 100 employees, which is like bigger than anything you'd see in the US. since then, I've been coming to China and, Hong Kong, Singapore a couple of times as well. Singapore is definitely a very technologically progressive government. They seem to be very interested in blockchains. In Hong Kong, just like in a lot of other cities, people are getting very interested in blockchain technology, and just there is sort of some favorable movement towards smart contracts as well. Every city I visit, there's about like 2 or 3 companies that are interested in doing something in this space. There's this large company in Shanghai, it's called wan't. They just got very interested in blockchains and Ethereum about 6 months ago. So they're starting some fairly major efforts, and we're working pretty closely with them right now. Before then, there was a very large and impressive Bitcoin community, but it was mostly just Bitcoin trading, Bitcoin exchanges, Bitcoin mining. And in October, I actually really got the feeling that people were starting to understand, the concept of blockchain beyond Bitcoin, all these sort of other applications that people have been thinking of, and now it just seems like the space is quickly booming. There definitely are blockchain applications that do have the property of completely getting rid of some intermediaries, but the problem is that if you look at markets in practice, I think that it's going to be fairly hard to kind of break through the network effects of companies that are kind of very entrenched and monopolistic already. And I personally think it would definitely be very good for society if a decentralized Uber were to exist and just replace the corporate one, but it is hard for to actually get into that market because if you only have 2 taxis on the road in every city, you're worthless. The institutional direction definitely has been kind of getting much stronger, and I think the reason is just the fact that the institutions have a huge amount of money, so they can kind of kickstart things more quickly. I'm sure we'll see entrepreneurs kind of keep banging that angle the next few years or so, and I'm definitely excited about how it turns out. But at the same time, the sort of institutional path has a lot of advantages. It's a very quick way to get to mass adoption. You don't have to convince millions of people, just convince a few guys at the top, flip a switch, and you got 200 million people using a blockchain, and I guess that's valuable too.
Well, viewers, I'm glad I could give you a quick update on Raiden. I invested in my first Ether when it was only a couple of dollars, and now it is 800. If this growth is going to be sustained, a payment scaling solution is needed as soon as possible, and Raiden looks to be the team who can do it. Until tomorrow, cheers.